I'm changing some names here. People who know me will know what I'm talking about. So, this started 7 months and 12 days ago. I counted. My life was pretty normal until Dad lost his job when his factory shut down. Suddenly, we were broke. Like counting coins for gas broke. Not maybe we skipped Starbucks this week broke. And Mom heard about a job at the fancy Montgomery estate. On our first day there, a Tuesday, overcast. I remember because Mom kept saying the gray sky was a bad omen. She was a nervous wreck. Girls, please be on your best behavior. We need this job. The moment I saw the mansion, my jaw literally hit the floor. The place had more bathrooms than our entire neighborhood combined. It's like rich people said, what if we can pee in all directions? There was a fountain in the driveway that was just running water into itself. I kept thinking about how much our water bill was back home. Then Lady Charlotte appeared, like some kind of expensive villain dripping in pearls and judgment. So, you're the new cook, and these are your daughters? Yes, ma'am. Anna is very hardworking and responsible. Emma is also very hardworking. Emma smiled so sweetly, I thought I'd get a cavity just from watching her. But I knew better. That girl hadn't worked a day in her life. Fine. The cook position pays $837 a month. But if your daughters want to continue school, they'll need to work as maids to cover their tuition. Maids? Is she serious right now? We'll do it. Are you insane? Maids? Would you rather drop out of school? I'd rather you drop out and I stay home. 3 months and 2 weeks later, I was doing all the work while Emma faked being sick. Anna, can you bring me some tea? My chronic fatigue is acting up again. Your chronic fatigue is called laziness, Emma. So now it's a crime to be tired? Just as I was about to answer her, I heard a screeching voice from downstairs. Anna, why is there a fingerprint on this mirror? Sorry, ma'am. I'll fix it right away. And this was my life for days, running from one task to another, never catching a break. The only place I felt free was the garden I started behind the mansion. One evening, I was watering my plants when Emma came running outside. Oh my God, Anna, Chris is coming home tomorrow. Who's Chris? Lady Charlotte's son. Look! She shoved her phone in my face, showing me his photo. And, okay, fine. Chris was hot. Like, unreasonably hot. The kind of hot where you forget how words work. Which, spoiler alert, I did, multiple times. I'm gonna make him fall in love with me, and then we'll get married, and I'll be rich. Good luck with that, sis. You can't even make your bed without chronic fatigue. Just stay away from him, Anna. I saw him first. The next day, Lady Charlotte was in full drill sergeant mode. Anna, Emma, I need you both to make this house spotless before Chris arrives. One speck of dust and you're all out. She basically threw cleaning supplies at us like we were in some kind of aggressive game show. The moment she left, Emma looked at her maid uniform like it was covered in radioactive waste. I am not wearing this ugly thing. Besides, I need to look good for when Chris arrives. Emma, we have like 2 hours to clean this entire mansion. You're so good at cleaning, though. You can totally handle it. Emma, please. I can't do this alone. Love you, sis. She left, and I cleaned everything in 2 hours by myself. If there was an Olympic sport for speed mopping while crying internally, I would have qualified. Looking back, I could have told Mom what was happening, but part of me liked being the martyr. If I'm being honest, I got to feel superior to Emma. We were both playing our roles. By the time I got to Chris's room, I was beyond exhausted. I sat on his bed for just a second and fell asleep. 5 more minutes. Wait, why is there a hot guy in here? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. This isn't my room. This is Chris's room. That's Chris. And I'm lying in his bed like some kind of creepy stalker Goldilocks. I jumped up so fast I almost gave myself a whiplash. His room smelled like laundry detergent and something woodsy. Cedar, maybe? I don't know why that's what I remember.
Whoa, easy there. You looked exhausted, so I didn't want to wake you.
I'm so sorry. I tried to grab the broom from him, but he held it away like we were playing some weird keep-away game.
Relax, I've got this. You clearly need a break.
But your mom will kill me if she finds out I was sleeping on the job.
Well then, let's not tell her.
Why are you being so nice? Is this a trick? Are you secretly recording this?
No tricks, I promise. I'm Chris.
I know. I mean, I'm Anna, your maid. Not that you don't know that. Obviously, you know that because I'll just stop talking now. But Chris didn't seem bothered by my word vomit at all.
So, Anna, tell me something about yourself that has nothing to do with cleaning.
No one had ever asked me that before. Not in this house, anyway. I want to be a nurse. I'm actually studying for my entrance exams.
That's amazing.
We talked for like 23 minutes. I checked my phone after, and it felt easy, natural, like we'd known each other forever. Until I remembered Emma's threat and reality came crashing back down. I really should go. I practically ran out of that room before I did something stupid like develop feelings for my boss's son. Too late, though. Way too late. The second I stepped into the hallway, I crashed straight into Emma, who looked like she wanted to murder me. I saw you in there with Chris. You promised me you'd stay away from him. We were just talking. You promised to stay away from him. Emma, I was cleaning his room. That's literally my job. If you ruin this for me, I'll tell Mom you were sleeping on the job. You wouldn't. Try me. That night at dinner was absolute torture. The dining room had this massive chandelier with maybe 50 crystals in it. I counted them twice, trying not to look at Chris. If I thought avoiding Chris would be easy, I was wrong. I had to serve the food, which meant I was constantly near him, and I could feel him watching me the entire time. Anna, pour Christopher some juice before you leave. My hands were shaking so badly, and then it happened. The juice went everywhere, all over Chris's expensive pants.
Oh, you incompetent girl! Those pants cost more than your entire wardrobe!
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'll clean it right away. Lady Charlotte looked like she was about to spontaneously combust, but then Chris stood up, and my heart literally stopped.
Mom, it was an accident. No big deal.
No big deal? Christopher, those were Italian. I didn't know pants could have a nationality, but apparently these ones had a passport and probably spoke better Italian than I did.
I'll buy new ones.
For one beautiful second, I thought maybe, just maybe, I wasn't getting fired. Wrong. Lady Charlotte grabbed my arm so hard, I knew there'd be bruises. Her rings dug into my skin. She was wearing 3 of them, all diamonds. Kitchen, now. The walk to the kitchen felt like a death march. 42 steps. I counted. My mom looked terrified when she saw us coming.
Wendy, your daughter is a disaster. One more mistake and you're all out of here. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am. Lady Charlotte stormed out, and Mom just looked at me with these heartbroken eyes.
Anna, please, we can't lose this job.
I know, Mom. I'm sorry. That night, I couldn't sleep. You'd think I'd be panicking about almost losing our jobs, but the thing that kept playing in my head was the sound the juice made hitting his pants. This weird splashing sound, over and over. Brains are weird like that. I needed air. And so I went to the garden. I was sitting there, trying not to cry, when I heard footsteps behind me.
Hey, mind if I join you?
I turned around, and Chris was standing there with his hands in his pockets. It's your garden.
Pretty sure it's yours too. You're the one who actually takes care of it.
We just sat there in comfortable silence, looking up at the stars. Or maybe we talked a little? I honestly can't remember. Memory does that. Mixes things up. But I remember feeling peaceful for the first time since coming to this mansion. Then I heard the worst voice imaginable. Anna, there you are. Lady Charlotte is looking for you. My stomach dropped. I jumped up so fast I almost twisted my ankle. What? Why? Did I do something wrong? She didn't say, but you know how she gets when she's kept waiting. I practically ran back to the mansion, my heart pounding the entire way. But when I got there, Lady Charlotte was already in her room with the lights off. I stood there confused for probably 8 or 9 minutes before I realized Emma lied. I ran back to the garden, but Chris was gone. Emma, what did you do? What? I just delivered a message. Not my fault if Lady Charlotte changed her mind. Something felt wrong. Really, really wrong. The next morning, I tried to talk to Chris, but it felt like talking to a completely different person.
Anna, I can't talk right now. I need to focus on some work today.
My heart literally shattered. Last night, we were looking at stars, and now he could barely look at me? Chris, did I do something wrong?
Look, I was actually going to ask you out last night, but then your sister mentioned you have a boyfriend, and I just feel like an idiot now.
What?
It's fine, Anna. I should have known better anyway.
Chris, I don't have a boyfriend. Emma lied. He stopped walking and turned around slowly.
You don't?
Emma made it up. I don't know why, but she lied to you. For a second, he just stared at me. Then this huge smile spread across his face.
Then, would you maybe want to go out with me? Like, on an actual date?
I must have looked like an idiot because I was smiling so hard my face hurt. I mean, I guess I could fit you into my very busy schedule of scrubbing floors and avoiding your mom.
I'll take that as a yes. Saturday night?
It's a date. Saturday finally came, and I was freaking out. I didn't own anything nice enough for a date with a rich guy. I ended up wearing my old jeans, the ones with a small hole near the left pocket that I kept meaning to fix. and a plain blue shirt. It was all I had. When Chris saw me, I wanted to disappear into the ground. I know it's not fancy or anything.
You look beautiful.
I look like I'm going to the library to study.
You look like you. That's all that matters.
We went to my favorite burger place, the spot called Patty's that always smells like fryer oil and has those sticky plastic menus. We talked for like 3 hours about everything. I remember he got ketchup on his shirt and didn't notice. I never told him. I didn't want the night to end. But all good things end, right? Because when we got home, Lady Charlotte was right there.
How lovely. Perfect timing, actually. Come inside, both of you. We have guests.
My stomach dropped. Something about her tone was off. We walked into the foyer and standing there was this gorgeous woman in a designer dress. Red, I think? Or maybe dark pink. I honestly can't remember. And it probably cost more than everything I owned. She looked like she'd never experienced humidity in her life.
Christopher, darling, I'd like you to meet your fiancée, Gwendolyn Sterling.
I'm sorry, what?
What are you talking about?
Oh, good. You're here. Can we speed this along? I have brunch plans tomorrow.
The engagement we discussed, Christopher? Surely you remember our conversation about your inheritance, about turning 22?
I watched Chris's face go from confused to horrified to blank, like someone had just unplugged him. And me? You'd think I'd feel devastated, angry, something big, but I just felt numb. I remember staring at the loose thread on my sleeve. Why do you notice the stupidest things at the worst moments?
I remember.
Say something. My brain was screaming at him. Tell her it's crazy. Tell her about our date. Anything. In my head, I imagined grabbing his hand and running out of there together. In reality, I just stood there, with my nails digging into my palms. But Chris just stood there too, silent, staring at the floor.
The Sterling family has been very patient. The engagement party is this Saturday.
You there, Maid. Take my Louis Vuitton bags to the guest suite. East wing, 2nd floor. And do try not to touch anything valuable. Those bags cost more than you make in a year. And just like that, I remembered what I actually was to these people. Not Chris's date, not someone important, just the maid. I grabbed Gwen's stupid bags and basically ran to the staff quarters. When I opened the door to the room, I found Emma sobbing into her pillow like her world had ended. He's engaged! He's engaged to some supermodel? Yeah, I noticed. This was supposed to be my chance. I was gonna marry rich and get out of this life. Now she's gonna be the lady of the manor. Welcome to reality, Emma. It sucks, doesn't it? You don't understand. You have your nursing school dreams. I had this, and now I have nothing. Then Emma sniffled and said something that made everything worse. Oh, and Mom got fired while you were out. What? Lady Charlotte just fired her, packed up her stuff, and sent her home. No explanation, no warning, just gone. But what about our tuition? What about... Apparently, Mom made Lady Charlotte sign some kind of contract. She has to pay for our schooling until we graduate, even if Mom's not working here anymore. It's the only reason we're still here. I took a photo of that contract later. I still look at it sometimes. That doesn't make sense. Why would Lady Charlotte agree to that? I don't know. To this day, I still don't understand why she signed that contract. I have theories. Maybe Mom knew something even back then, but I'll never really know. Anyway, Mom's gone. She left like an hour ago. She left behind her dusty recipe book. I threw it on your bed. I looked over, and there it was, Mom's old brown leather recipe book. I opened it, and inside was a note from Mom with a weird recipe on page 47. The safe holds the truth. Trust yourself. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you sooner. There were some numbers scrambled below the note, but I knew this wasn't a recipe. It felt more like a clue, and I was determined to find this safe. The next few days were hell. If I thought Lady Charlotte was bad, Gwen was like Lady Charlotte, but worse. I barely had time to snoop around. Gwen complained about everything, and I could take it until she started on Emma. You there, other maid? This mirror has a streak on it. Did you even try to clean it properly? I stepped forward before Emma could apologize for something she didn't do. This is gonna sound bad, but part of me wanted an excuse to fight with Gwen. I was looking for it. I cleaned that hallway with her this morning. The streak you're pointing at is from the sunlight, not dirt. Gwen studied me for a long, terrible moment. Then she laughed. You've got guts. I'll give you that. She took a step forward, close enough that I could smell her expensive perfume. But let me tell you something about people like you, Anna. People like you need to be taught your place the hard way. She flicked her hair in my face, It smelled like that expensive perfume they advertise in magazines, the one in the gold bottle, and she walked away. The second she disappeared around the corner, Emma grabbed my arm. Why did you take the blame for me? Because you're my sister, even when you drive me crazy? I don't deserve that. I've been awful to you for months, for years. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have been. I was jealous of how hard you work, how easy things seem for you. Easy? Emma, I've been doing your job and mine for 3 months. I know, I can see that now, and I'm so sorry. Let me help, however I can, please. I don't know if she really meant it or just wanted to be part of the drama. Maybe both. I decided to believe her anyway. I hesitated, then told Emma about Mom's note and the safe. To my shock, she knew exactly where it was. She had been snooping in Lady Charlotte's closet last week and had found it hidden behind her portrait. We immediately began to make a plan for how to break into the safe, and the perfect opportunity came the next afternoon when Lady Charlotte announced that she would be going dress shopping with Gwen. The second Lady Charlotte's car disappeared down the driveway, I snuck into her room. My hands were shaking so bad, I could barely move the portrait. Emma was right. Behind the portrait was a wall safe. It was smaller than I expected, maybe the size of a microwave, gray metal with a digital keypad. I pulled out Mom's note, trying to decipher the code she'd left, but the numbers were so cryptic. Come on, Mom, what am I missing here?
Having trouble with that?
I spun around so fast I almost screamed. Chris was standing in the doorway, door closed behind him, looking more alive than he had in days. What are you, your mom?
Is at a dress fitting with my fake fiancé. I know. I made sure they'd be gone for at least 2 hours.
I'm not stealing anything.
I know. We both want the same thing.
I really doubt that.
You have every right to be mad at me, but my silence was to protect you. I knew my mom was hiding something, but I didn't know where, and somehow I missed the most obvious place, her own bedroom.
I don't understand.
I'm trapped, Anna, just like you. My dad passed away 2 years ago. He left everything in a trust fund. The trust says my mom controls everything until I turn 22.
So why the engagement?
Because she changed the terms. She added a clause. If I refuse to marry whoever she chooses, she can claim I'm acting against the family's interests and keep control forever.
She can't do that.
She can. I've already talked to 3 lawyers. Without proof of the schemes she's been hiding behind my dad's foundation, there's nothing anyone can do.
Then let's stop her. Do you have any idea what these numbers are?
Yeah, looks like the year she was born.
Chris turned the dial carefully and a safe opened. Inside were folders. So many folders filled with bank statements and blackmail records.
This is evidence. Actual proof of fraud, embezzlement, and blackmail. The engagement party is in 2 days. We end this in front of everyone.
Chris, if we do this, there's no going back. She's your mother. Suddenly, a loud crash came from downstairs.
Oh no! I knocked over this vase! How clumsy of me!
That's our cue. Come on. We grabbed the most important documents and bolted out of there. When we got to the bottom of the servants' staircase, we just looked at each other.
2 days. Can you hold on for 2 more days?
I've made it this far, haven't I? The day of the engagement finally arrived, and the entire mansion was decorated like something out of a magazine. White roses everywhere, crystal chandeliers, and a string quartet. By 7 p.m., the mansion was packed with rich people. You could practically smell the inherited wealth and mild tax evasion. I stayed in the background, waiting for the right moment. Then, Lady Charlotte tapped her glass, and the room went quiet. She smiled, clearly enjoying all the attention.
Thank you all for coming. As you know, my late husband and I built this estate from nothing. Through hard work and dedication, we created a legacy. And now, my son Christopher is engaged to the lovely Gwendolyn Sterling. So please, join me in toasting.
Excuse me, Lady Charlotte. The room went dead silent, and everyone turned to look at me.
What did you just say?
I said, excuse me, I believe you dropped something.
Anna, go back to the kitchen, now. No, Mother, let her speak. I want to hear this. Christopher, sit down this instant. No, I've been sitting down for too long. Anna, please, continue.
You could hear a pin drop. I was standing next to this ice sculpture of a swan. I could remember the cold coming off it. Everyone stared at me. If this was a movie, this is where I'd feel powerful, in control. In reality, my hands were shaking so bad, I had to press the documents against my stomach. I could feel sweat running down my back. The room smelled like those expensive white roses and champagne, and I genuinely thought I might throw up. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Anna. My mother, Wendy, was the cook here until Lady Charlotte fired her last week. She fired my mother because Mom discovered something Lady Charlotte didn't want anyone to know.
Security, remove her, immediately.
2 men in black instantly appeared from nowhere.
Touch her and you're fired. This is my father's house, and I want to hear what Anna has to say.
Lady Charlotte has been embezzling from her late husband's company for 5 years and 8 months. $1.87 million, according to the documents. Money that was supposed to go to the Montgomery Foundation, a charity that helps families like mine. This is absurd. You're all listening to a maid? I decided to bring out all the copies we had made of the evidence, but was suddenly interrupted by 2 police officers walking toward Lady Charlotte.
Charlotte Montgomery, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and extortion.
They read her rights, the whole thing, just like on TV. Took about 90 seconds.
I called them 2 hours ago, gave them copies of everything.
What? You're my son!
I know.
But I barely paid any attention to the chaos when I saw Gwen in the corner doing some TikTok dance. The one where you point at different things? I don't remember what it's called. Chris must have noticed too because I saw him walking up to her.
I'm sorry you got dragged into all of this.
You didn't love me, I didn't love you. Honestly, this whole thing was exhausting. But hey, plenty of fish in the sea, right? I already have someone way hotter blowing up my phone, so bye. She shrugged and walked out of there like the engagement never mattered. Chris stood there for a second, then came over to me.
I'm sorry I dragged you into all of this.
I don't mind. I'm good at cleaning up messes.
Well, not anymore. I'd like you to be my girlfriend, if you don't mind.
Does this come with normal dates and 0 secret engagements?
I promise.
Then I'd like that. And for the first time since all of this started, everything finally felt simple. Lady Charlotte got arrested. The trial is in 4 months, and I'll probably have to testify, which terrifies me. Mom helps manage the estate now, which is weird because she still apologizes every time she asks someone to do something. Emma's actually working. Not a lot, but more than before. Baby steps. And me, I got into nursing school. Not a full scholarship like I wanted. It's partial, and I'm still gonna have $23,000 in loans when I'm done, but it's something. I wish I could say I came out of this feeling strong and empowered, but mostly I just felt tired for a long time. It didn't really hit me until like 3 weeks later. I was doing laundry, found my old maid uniform shoved in the back of a drawer, and just sat on the floor and cried for 20 minutes. My sister found me there. She still brings it up sometimes. Chris and I are still together. It's not perfect. His family situation is a mess. He's got aunts and cousins who still think his mom was framed, and holidays are going to be weird forever. Sometimes I catch myself wondering if I actually like him or if I just got swept up in everything. I think I like him, I'm pretty sure, but ask me again in 6 months. If there's one thing I learned, it's that real life doesn't wrap up neatly. There's no big moment where everything clicks into place. You just keep going, day by day, and eventually things get a little better. Or they don't, but you keep going anyway. I still make my bed every morning. Old habit from the Maid days. Something stick. Although now, when I see a fingerprint on a mirror, I only have a minor panic attack instead of a full one. Progress. That's it. That's all I've got.